I will start.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vaishnavi Kamath, a mentor with Vision CA, and I welcome all of you to this series of Vision CA podcasts. Vision CA, as you all know, is a platform wherein we mentor CA students across their CA journey. Today, I have the privilege of having with us Mrs. Shivani Agarwala. Before we start, let me give you a very brief introduction of her. Mrs. Shivani Agarwala is a chartered accountant with a difference. She is also the first Indian female world champion in kettlebell sports. Shivani won the first gold medal for India at the International Kettlebell World Championship at Uzbekistan in 2018. She further outclassed her own achievements in 2019 when she won the second gold medal in Australia, followed by the third gold medal in France last year. Shivani's achievements and efforts to bring glory to the nation have been acknowledged by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who sent a letter of appreciation to her father, recognizing her contribution to nation building by winning gold for the country. Besides kettlebell, Shivani is a renowned chartered accountant, a practicing member, and national faculty for indirect taxation from ICAI, having delivered over 250 sessions on the subject of indirect taxation across the country. She is also a TEDx speaker and was conferred the Pride of Bengal Award for 2022 alongside the likes of Arnab Goswami, Leander Pace, and Anup Raha. Besides the achievements that I have just read out, Shivani is also mother to a 6-year-old, thereby donning multiple roles and, as you all know, acing all of it. A hearty welcome, Shivani. We are honored.
Thank you so much.
And excited at the same time to have you here.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi.
Well, as a working professional, I am, very keen to start this podcast by asking you your secret to this time management mantra, but I will probably hold that on and start with something a little more basic, what kettlebell is all about, or what competitions in kettlebell are all about, and what really pushed you to kettlebell. Was there like an aha moment? Did you start with it during your articleship or after clearing? It would be great if you could just share a brief overview on this.
Yes. So for the uninitiated, kettlebell is basically a Russian sport. It's called a kettlebell sport because the equipment looks like a kettle, and you've got to lift the kettlebell in timed formats in specific variations. And depending on the number of repetitions you get, etc., you are decided as to whether you get what rank you get. So my journey into kettlebell started with an idea of losing my postpartum weight. As you correctly read out, I'm a mother to a 6-year-old. So I had some postpartum weight and my husband pushed me into getting rid of that. No body shaming here, but honestly, I have a husband who likes his wife to be a certain way, and I'm extremely proud of having a husband like that. So anyway, coming back to it, so I joined the gym, and I was someone who's never been into active fitness. For me, fitness was merely walking a few kilometers, talking on the phone, and not really knowing that how many calories I'm losing, etc. So the idea of fitness was very different to me before I started lifting bells. So once I hit the gym, it was the first time ever after having a child. I started the gym, and it was the first time ever in my life of 35, 36 years that I'd gone to a gym. To the extent I speak about this also in the TED speech, that when I first went to the gym and I tried doing a squat, my pants tore. I wasn't even aware that you need to wear a certain fitness attire or a fitness gear when you undertake any sort of fitness activity. So it all started when I chanced upon this beautiful equipment called the kettlebell. I met my coach, my mentor, Mr. Arnab Sarkar, and luck had it that I had to call it quits because work was moving north. It is a super nuclear setup where I don't get to see my husband more than 20 days in a month. And it was just me and my son, Lavik. And fitness was honestly nowhere on the radar. But, one fine day, my coach called me and he said that if you wish, I can come and train you. So I had lifted kettlebells in the gym about a couple of times just for the sake of recreation, Vaishali, never with the idea of pursuing it as a sport. But probably my coach saw something different in me. He saw the spark in me and he initiated the idea of coming home and training me. Back then, the idea was just to lose weight and pursue it more like a fitness fad. Like you see in many gyms today, a lot of Bollywood actors, swinging the bells. But for us, when you pursue kettlebell for a competition and you pursue it as a sport, it's a lot different than just swinging bells to lose. Saw probably some problem, Vaishnavi.
Yeah. I was just about to call you. There's a technical glitch actually.
You think at my side?
Probably. Are you
But
facing?
I have full network. No, nothing at all. I'm on full bar. Yeah, in fact, and I put my phone on aeroplane mode because, otherwise calls come, they just kind of disturb you.
Sure. I'll just... if you could...
Are we still recording?
Yeah, I'm still recording. If you could just start from that point where you said, like these days you have Bollywood celebrities. We can edit that now instead of starting.
No worries.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. Let me open one. But there's ample, network here. It's showing me full bar. Anyway, if in case we face a problem again, we'll probably have to. Yeah. So, you have these Bollywood celebrities who are swinging bells, and it's a good sight to see when you have these Bollywood celebrities swinging bells. But when you pursue kettlebell as a sport, it's a lot different than just swinging bells. So for me, Vaishnavi, the entire journey into lifting bells happened with the idea of losing my postpartum weight. And I cannot undermine the contribution of my mentor, my coach, Mr. Arnab Sarkar, who saw the spark in me, and that's why to every parent and to every student and to everyone across caste, creed, anyone, I always say one thing, and I always propagate the importance of having a mentor who would know it better than you, since you are a mentor with CA Vision. But I think mentors help you see a higher version of yourself, which otherwise you don't manage seeing.
Yes.
And they help you, in so many ways, more than one. And I think with me, it was really the contribution of my mentor. And to give me the benefit, I would say that, yes, I always believed in being consistent and persistent. And that is one thing that has helped me achieve the little I have.
That's great, Shivani. Thank you so much for highlighting on the role your mentor has played, in
absolutely by all means
that you are today. How has the sport actually made you a better person and also a better professional? Like, what is the spillover effect that you see in your daily life?
See, I'd say a fit body gives you a fit mind. And, with chartered accountancy, there's a lot of number crunching. There's a lot of litigation matters you handle. You just need to be pretty adept at everything that you do. And being a chartered accountant and an athlete, these roles have only complemented my journey, because once you're an athlete, it helps you develop a certain sense of discipline. And I think that discipline, when you apply it to your professional life, also goes a long way. And to not take away from the fact that in your fraternity, as a chartered accountant, in our fraternity, I'd say there are not very many fit people we come across, and also not many torch bearers of fitness. So when you stand out in that crowd of people who look up to you for not just GST consultancy and indirect taxation, but also on, as you said, the skills of time management and about how do you manage pursuing a passion which is other than your profession. So I think this journey of pursuing your passion and profession with integrity, with skill, with dedication and time, this is something that a lot of people look up to me now. And in fact, now it's as recent as today, I received a call from the Guwahati branch, and I thought they'd call me to address a technical session. They're having a students conference on the 17th and the 18th weekend of June. And I thought they'll ask me to speak on GST, but no, they want me to be a motivational speaker. And the students have actually probably, told the organizers that they want me over. So I think that is the energy, because it's always possible to pursue your passion and your profession. So I think that sense of discipline, which I've inculcated through my athletics into my professional life, has gone a long way in helping me be the person I am. And obviously, a fit body gives you a fit mind.
Sure, sure. I can only imagine, by being in a litigation and a compliance heavy practice such as IDT, I'm sure, like your professional life consumes a lot of time, as is the case with
Absolutely.
all the chartered accountants. So I'm curious to know what a day in a practicing chartered accountant come, an athlete who is preparing, for the forthcoming World Championship in Greece is like. What is your day like these days?
See, for us, it's a pretty regimented lifestyle, honestly speaking, through the year. Just that the training sessions become different when you're preparing for a competition. But barring that, having 8 hours of sleep and no white sugar, no gluten, etc., become a daily part of your life. In fact, to the extent that when you actually go for CA seminars and sessions, you have a separate menu which is being curated for you. And then you realize that you're pretty much on the right track. Being a Marwari, coming from a traditional family who's grown on sugar and wheat, and now giving it all up for the last couple of years. I've not had a biscuit in the last 5 years, I think.
Wow.
So I think that takes an immense amount of discipline, but it becomes a way of life for you. So coming back to what my routine looks like, I really would like to emphasize on the concept of decluttering. It's the Japanese art of decluttering, that you choose to keep only what brings joy to your heart. And when you apply this principle to life, it can really change your perspective to life in many, many ways. So it starts by cleaning, not by items, but by category. It could be cleaning your desktop on your computer. It could be cleaning your study table. It could be cleaning your almirah, your storage in your office, and then cleaning up your life. So all those activities which you feel don't bring you any joy, or for that matter, don't add value, you start to drop those activities and you declutter your life. I think that has immensely helped me, because then I realized that, at the end of the day, I'm not an ice cream seller. I can't make everyone happy. So it's okay not to live up to a few social obligations when you're called for parties, etc., because at the end of the day, you need to prioritize. You need to understand what is important, and accordingly, you give time just to that. So rather than prioritizing your schedule, you start scheduling your priorities. So I think that has really helped me. And, I always believe in the 4 wheels of life, like your the driving, like how a 4-wheeler car moves on. My life moves on 4 wheels. A is my family life, which pretty much comprises me being a daughter, a mother, a wife. And I'm very proud to say that, I'm also addressing many sessions on parenting. So I am assuming I'm doing a good job as a parent. In fact, my 6-year-old has been interviewed by a couple of newspapers because he started a new business venture of his own, all of 6,
Wow.
and he's earning money. And, obviously being the son to a chartered accountant, you know how it is. Now, then comes your social life. Social life is your interaction with your extended family, your friends, etc. Your personal life and your professional life. Professional life for all of us is like, meeting your colleagues, if you're a chartered accountant, the circle of CA friends you hang out with. If you're a lawyer, or, all this extended, you really getting to interact with the best of brains in the country. And then comes our personal life, Vaishnavi. What I realize is that while we lay a lot of emphasis on our family life, our professional life, and our social life, there is very little we think of in terms of our personal life. So today, while cooking a meal for my husband or preparing a tiffin for my son is something I consider as my family life, brings me immense amount of joy. But that is not my personal life. I realize that I need my mojo something. The only time where I can put my phone on an aeroplane mode, other than obviously when I'm traveling in an aircraft, the only time where I feel that this is something I'm doing for myself. For me, it started with an idea of losing postpartum weight, but when I realized the glory I'm getting out of this, I'm getting to represent the country, and the Honorable Prime Minister has written to me defining in great details the roles I'm playing as an athlete, as a mother, and as a chartered accountant. Then I realized that what started off with an idea of doing something for myself has now translated into doing something for the nation. So I think you start small, you start by doing something for yourself, because ultimately, you can't pour from an empty vessel. Then and unless you do something which brings you innate amount of happiness, I don't think so you can really be successful in living this life. So for me, it started with that. So even now, I pretty much emphasize on these four wheels of life. I know the social wheel is something I need to work on, but barring that, I think this is pretty much, which consumes my day, and just started reading because I think reading also adds an immense amount of discipline to your life. And I'm just reading this book called The Rework. Since this podcast will be viewed by a lot of students, I'd say at least read 10 pages of a book in a day. It can do you a ton of difference. And, someone really said that a person who does not read is as good as a person who cannot read. So let's be that elite group of people who can read and who do read.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Shivani. I'm going to definitely remember that forever, don't prioritize your schedule, but schedule your priorities. I'm taking that away from this for sure.